Mr. Dave Barshay and Joe Ferrari here joining us. We'll get into their relationship soon. You'll learn a little bit about how those two are connected. I'm joined by my assistant principals as well. Super excited to have everybody here today. Why don't we jump on and say hello? Dave, you want to come in and say hello?
Yes, hello, and thanks for having me, Chris.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Joe Ferrari.
What is going on, Hauppauge? Joe Ferrari, Senior. Thanks for having me.
Nice. White Horst.
What's up, Hauppauge? Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday.
Good stuff. Joy.
Hey, Hauppauge, how are you? I hope you had a great morning since the last time we were together, and I hope you got out and moved.
Yes. Christy, go for it. Christy, you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry.
No problem.
Am I live? Good afternoon, Hauppauge High School. I know some of our seniors were still sleeping at the morning meeting, so if you didn't get the weather update, it is going to rain for the next 3 days, so please go outside and get some fresh air.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So listen, you're now going to go to an imaginative space. We do this from time to time. You're going to have to imagine you are walking into the world. You're able to go into the world and purchase your favorite morning breakfast sandwich. And you're going to go ahead and do that. And so remember, if you're in a New York deli or bagel place, if you're not ready, they're just going to basically look at you with their scorn as if you're ruining everything in the world. So, Dave, what is your breakfast order? Go for it.
Breakfast order: salt bagel, eggs, bacon, ketchup, pepper.
Beautiful. And he told us he has ketchup on eggs, guys. You pick up on that? That's good stuff. Joe.
I get the same order every deli I go to. Sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll, salt, pepper, ketchup, peach Snapple.
Beautiful. That brings me back. Peach Snapple. Good stuff. White Horse.
Bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, preferably a bagel, but I'll take a roll as well with some poppy seeds.
Nice. Joy.
Since I don't eat eggs, I'm veering over to the one side. I'm going with tuna on an egg everything bagel with a sour pickle on the side.
Nice. Christy.
Everything bagel, lightly toasted, lightly buttered. But everyone's skewing off of the original question, which was bagel order. So now, Joe,
no. This morning was breakfast order.
Oh, breakfast. All right. I'm still going to stick with the same thing.
Yeah. 3 eggs, turkey and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup on an everything bagel. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, we're enjoying a nice breakfast. I think people want to get to know you a little bit, Dave. You know, we get to see you in the public light at board meetings pretty regularly. But I bet people would like to hear a little bit about your story. So can you tell us a little bit about we'll start at the beginning. You know, tell us about Dave Barshay a little bit. What's your background? How'd you get to where you are?
Sure. I grew up in Coram, Newfield High School, Wolverine. Did college at St. John's, law school at Cardozo. Met my wife in college, who was a lifelong Hauppauge resident, Miss Hauppauge, 1992.
There you go.
Yep. And we've been living in Hauppauge since we got married in 2000. My wife has always lived here. 4 children in the district, high school, middle school, and 2 middle schoolers and a elementary school kid. And I'm a lawyer in Garden City, and I've been on the board since 2012, I believe.
Wow, so a long time. A lot of change during that time, 2012 to now in Hauppauge. So your leadership's been really, important over the years in terms of Hauppauge. But what does a board member do exactly? Like, I think when I think about what the public knows about the board, I'm often curious, like, do they know what a board member does? So what does a board member do? Particularly, what does a board chair do?
So, I mean, the technical answer is the board sets policies for the school district to follow, and then administration follows those policies through regulations. That's the technical answer. More commonly or informally, we try to stay out of the way on issues of education, make sure that the district has what it needs resource-wise, financially, and that we stay true to what the community wants and what the community has determined is important, and to represent the people that voted us into office. So, like you said, a lot has changed since 2012. We do feel from the board's point of view that, we were really hitting our stride as a district. And, the coronavirus has obviously set everyone back. But as a board, we're very happy where we are as a district. We're very happy with the acknowledgments and the recognition that we're getting from U.S. News and World Report and the state for the high school. So right now, the board is just trying to stay out of the way on education and just make sure that the resources that we have to continue the great work we're doing are still there and will be there for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I think I've been impressed with the partnership with the board and the tenor of the relationship with the board since being here, and it's been new for me. When I was a student in Shoreham, I actually had the desire to attend every board meeting during my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. So that was my first time watching the board, and been astonished about the volume of work that it is to be a board member. And so there's no real financial incentive to be a board member. In fact, I'm sure it costs you and your family a fair amount in terms of just being involved. And of course, there's things to be gained from it. But why did you originally feel compelled to get involved with the board?
There was one incident that comes to mind. I attended a CSE for my daughter back in, I think it was 2011. My daughter's got some disabilities. And I remember that the process back then was adversarial. And that didn't sit well with me. And it made me want to get involved and make sure that, kids were getting everything that they need and everything that they're entitled to, and try to break down those barriers between community and the district, especially on the special education issues. Since then, I can't say enough good things about our special ed department. Obviously, there's always room to improve, but we've made leaps and bounds as far as special ed in our district. And really, once I started to get involved with everything, we're very happy with where we are as a district. So I think it was a good move for me to get involved, because it allowed me to better understand what's going on in the district, what happens in the district, the needs of the district, the needs of the parents, so on and so forth. And then I just got addicted to the power.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Which is absolutely none. As you said, I don't get. The board doesn't get any financial break whatsoever. There's always rumors that we get health insurance and breaks in our taxes. It's just not true. But all in all, it's a very rewarding experience, especially to see kids that I've coached over the years. When they started as T-ball kids, coming up through the system, shaking their hands at moving up ceremonies, seeing my nieces and nephews graduate, being able to recognize them at commencement and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a great. I'm very happy with the decision to get involved.
Cool.
And I think the board and the administration right now are humming.
Yeah, I do feel that humming, and it was nice to see the recognition with U.S. News, and I know Dr. O'Hara pointed out some other recognition. I think I've said this a couple of times publicly when I've asked about what's going well, and I do feel expectations for our students are really high. Expectations for our staff are really high, and simultaneously, I think both students, staff, and families know where to go when they need support. And so it's one thing if you're a district that has a lot of expectations, but the key here that I can see is that there's clear pathways to support. And there's a lot of ways that we are helping support students reach those expectations. So it's nice to hear you articulate that too in your answers as well.
Yeah, and listen, everyone on this call right now is greatly responsible, other than myself. I'm saying administration in the high school and the students in the high school are really responsible for the accolades that we've been getting. Yes, it takes everyone's effort, but the effort that you guys are putting forth and the results you're getting in the high school are outstanding. So congratulations, and credit goes to the four of you, five of you.
Thank you. Yeah, Joe Ferrari, he's been every day he comes in, gives me a good fist pump, gets me going. I appreciate it a lot. It's good stuff. So actually, Joe's responsible for the thought of having you come on. So, and this was a surprise to me. Now, you and I have gotten to know each other a little bit, trash talking back and forth about a variety of things. And I was looking forward to having a chance to trash talk you on the basketball court last year. I heard you used to play in the league, but last year didn't. But we can talk about that another time. But Joe was asked a question on a call last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, which was, who is the funniest person you know? And he could have gone anywhere with that question. And he said, Uncle D, I think was what he said, if I'm getting that right. So you got a big fan here. Joe, can you come on and just kind of talk a little bit about why your uncle's so funny? What's going on there?
I mean, well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the reason why I said Uncle D is just because, like, ever since I was a little kid, like, you know, you always have like that one uncle who's just like the fun guy.
Where do you go from there? That one uncle.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be, you know, walking on glass here, but I mean, it was just like always fun. Like when like mom and dad would say, "Oh, we're going to Amy's house, Aunt Amy's house." You know, like you were gonna have a good time. Like, his Uncle Dave's a jokester. You know, that's just kind of how it was, or still is, really. But I mean, that's just his personality. You know, I feel like a lot of people see the whole business side of him, and then I kind of feel, you know, important because I get to see the funny jokester side of him. But yeah, I mean,
what are some themes? Like, is it poking fun at you? Like, what's the humor?
We have many themes. It's like we got, like, I don't even know how many inside jokes we got going currently, but I mean, it's crazy. But I mean, yeah, he pokes fun now and then. But I mean, like, not a whole lot of people knew he was my uncle. You know, kind of want to kept it that way. I didn't really want people to kind of know that, because I feel like I'd be like the teacher's pet kind of vibe if people like really found out. But I mean, senior now, so it doesn't really matter.
So it's out there in the world, and there's going to be 10,000 to 1 million people watching this. So that's good.
Yeah,
put it out there. We might hit 1 million hits on this. So listen, before we go off the rails completely, and I got a couple topics that I think will take us off the rails. Let's stay in a space where we think about education and teaching and coaching a little bit. So one of my favorite questions to ask is, who is a really important teacher or coach in your life? And you can take us back as far as you want or as recent as you want. And what is like a specific piece of feedback that they've given you that has really helped transform your life? And everybody can answer this. If you've answered it already, maybe take us a different direction. But Dave, you got something that jumps to mind, a specific coach or specific set of feedback that you've gotten that's kind of launched you to where you are?
Sure. Two people come to mind. My physics teacher, and I think it was 11th or 12th grade, Mr. Madonna was his name.
Nice.
I just remember him taking time to individualize instruction to help people, to help students, and to help me individually. Physics was tough for me, and I just remember him spending time, and that was enough, to get some individualized attention. Now, the sad part of the story is, years later, I'm talking like in the last year or so, I reached out to him on social media, and he ignored me. So obviously, the feeling wasn't mutual. But I remember him as being an outstanding teacher. And as far as coaches go, I always played hockey growing up, and my buddy's dad coached a team, and I just remember that was really to see him both as a father and a coach. So that was great. And I remember we bought him a jacket for the team and everything. We were really into it. I'm talking when we were kids. And he would wear the jacket around town, and it was just a good feeling.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, Wading River and Quorum aren't that far apart, and this will take us sideways a little bit. But when I talk to people in the area about like growing up in Wading River, they think it was like the end of the earth. Do you feel like you pick up that vibe sometimes when you talk about where you're from? Absolutely.
I always say Quorum, Eastern Suffolk County, because no one knows where it is. When you say near the mall, that's the landmark that people can recognize. But for the most part, out there, it's the sticks.
Yeah.
For anyone that's west of like Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the sticks.
I think of 112 as the great divider. Like once you get east of 112, it's like, where do you live? Way out there.
Yes, absolutely. Joey's dad actually grew up right near me also, so that was.
Oh yeah.
The family joke.
We got out, you know. So,
Good stuff.
good stuff.
All right, so keep it going, Joe. What's a good coach you had? Mentor, leader, feedback. What do you got?
I mean, like when I think coach and I think like mentor and leader, like there's one person easy, Coach Druckenmiller. You know, with the football team. I mean, like a lot of people see him in school and is like, oh, he's like just kind of like monotone. You know, you don't really, get the whole vibe for him. But like most of you know, his father passed away this season. And it was like, honestly, it was one of the hardest things that, Hauppauge football's gone through because obviously our home field's named after him. And he's one of the guys who, when you think Hauppauge football, you think the last name Druckenmiller. He, after his father passed, he could have made the choice to just stop coaching or just decide he just wanted to walk away from the game. Like it was too hard. But I mean, he stayed through. He stayed with us. He would tell us all the time in the locker room, the only thing you have in this life is opportunities and memories. You have the opportunity to do something great or important, and then memories come from that. And he would always say, like, I don't have the opportunity to make memories with my father anymore, but I still have the memories from him, and that's the important thing. But I mean, I played defensive end all three from my sophomore year to my senior year in high school, and he was the coach, and he was like, it was crazy. He taught me more about how to be a man than it was to be a football player, and I feel like that's kind of the whole. When you look at football, that's kind of the whole underlining meaning of it. So probably Coach Druck was really stuck out in my high school career.
Cool, thank you. White Horse, what do you got?
Yeah, just to touch on what Joe said, I can appreciate what he's saying about Druck because, I've seen him teach, but I've also seen him talk with some of the kids he's coaching, and he has a way of talking with you guys to make you to learn lessons other than football. And so I know he's really great at that. For me, I'll take it in kind of a similar direction. When I was in high school, a great teacher I always remember was my English teacher in 10th grade. His name was Mr. Goldman. I went to Division Avenue. I was a Nassau guy. So, yeah, to me, you guys everywhere east of that is end of the world for me. I live in Suffolk now, but growing up, I thought Suffolk was like the boondocks. It's all the way out there. But anyway, back to my my teacher here. I just remember the way he treated us was, he taught us to be good human beings, and he infused that in with all of his lessons. So it wasn't about, making sure we had content. It was about making sure we were just becoming good people and learning people skills. And he treated us like, that the young adults we were, and helped us become better people. And he still connects with us to this day. And he, he's very visible on social media. Unlike Dave, with your guy rejecting you, he reaches out to us on social media. He's happy to talk with us whenever we need advice on anything. He's just a really good guy, and always stands out to me.
Cool.
Yeah, I know I gave a different answer the other day, but I figured I'd add some variety in.
Well, I'm hopeful that multiple people have impacted us each, so that's good you had multiple people.
We try to.
Joy, what's up?
So I'm going to say my high school AP biology teacher, Mr. Diogenio. We all called him Mr. D. And every morning he would start class by saying, life is so complex it cannot be defined. And, as students, we didn't know really what he was talking about. And I'll never forget, one of the units we had to do was to dissect the bullfrog. And we spent weeks on this bullfrog that was like this big. And we even named the bullfrog. So we got down to the skeletal system, and for our final exam of that unit, Mr. DiGenio had a fishbowl on his desk, and he called students up one by one, and you had to pick out the index card of a system or something with regards to the bullfrog. And I'll never forget, I pulled out metatarsals, tarsals, and phalanges. And then at the end of this fishbowl exam, Mr. D rolls out the human skeleton. And he said to me, "So, Miss Acapinti, show me on the skeleton where tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges are." And then went back to his original, life is so complex it cannot be defined.
Nice.
That always stood out to me. Mr. D was also a football coach in our high school, and he had this personality, larger than life. And he's really one of the deciding factors for me, the reason why I got into education. So that's a great memory for me. Thanks.
Beautiful. I love seeing people come alive as they talk about these things. It's good stuff. Christy, go for it.
Hi. So I did my coach the other day, and I'm going to go a little bit sideways here. I'm going to pick Mrs. Chester. She's actually my children's teacher. My oldest son, Jack, is a senior this year. He was my first going into kindergarten. She was his kindergarten teacher. And he had a group of about 10 really great friends, and they gave me really great, parent connections. But, as your first child in kindergarten, you attend every event. And every event we went to, she made the kids feel very special. During that year, one of my son's friends got very, very ill, and she wound up passing away a year later. But when I say that kind of just bound us all for life, I really, truly mean that. I wound up having her, I think it was 4 more times as my children kind of went through there. I was her class mother several times. But even so, why did she pop up right now? Because there's been so many special teachers, being in education for 19 years now, I've seen teachers do amazing things. But I think being bound up and isolated reminds you of how important it is to make connections with your students. And this woman who taught my children 13 years ago is still to this day reaching out. Most recently last week, she sent us all an email, understanding how hard it is to be a senior right now. But all throughout their life, I've been there. 5th grade graduation, she came to our house. She came to our parties. She invited our kids in when they were in high school to come teach her 2nd grade class, and just really go so far out of her way to make connections. And for her to reach out this week and realize, 13 years later, that our kids are so important. It was just such a nice thing to see at this time. So I think that was great.
That's awesome. That's really great. That actually, I try to feel the energy of these conversations and take us in directions. So all of it just really great to hear about the specific teachers that have had an impact. But, it reminds you that how much of an impact these people have had on us as we prepare and walk through really tough times. And let's be honest, this is a strange experience that we're going through. And at the high school level, we've been working extraordinarily intentionally to connect with families in Hauppauge that are having a hard time. And we have a pretty clean process, we think, related to this. But I've been talking to some families that are significantly impacted, some with loss of people, some with loss of direct family members, some with loss of jobs, some with loss in other ways, just connection. So it hasn't been an easy time. And the intention of these conversations is kind of just draw us back to ground us as a community. And I've been appreciative of that. That's kind of been some of the feedback we've been getting as well. But it makes me think a little bit about an appropriate next question is just to ask about a moment during this time when you found yourself at calm or at peace or at just reflecting on the bigger elements of life and felt good about what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that means everything that's happening is good, but hopefully we've been finding moments of good. And I can start with a quick one for myself. Keep it quick. It doesn't have to be elongated. And just kind of share something, a moment in time that's been good over these last little bit. So last night, beautiful day, probably around 5 or 6 o'clock. I was finishing up some work, and I walk outside, and my 3 kids are playing on our playground set right outside of the window that I'm at right now. and I like rounded the corner, and they didn't know I was there for a couple minutes, and I just got to watch them play as like the sun was like setting, and it was such a beautiful moment, and just like incredibly grounding as an experience. And then just to see the bliss that they had, and having no idea that their dad was watching, was just really a great opportunity for me to just see them in action. So that was awesome. And I don't know if I would have paused like that if I was in the other routine of going to school, coming home, that kind of thing. It felt very unique. Dave, anything like that resonate with you?
Yeah, sure. Not one incident like that, but the disconnect that we have had, and that it's building over the last 6 weeks. I've turned the corner, and that I'm realizing now how important those things are, and how we took for granted, shaking hands, a bro hug,
Yep.
Seeing family, and I'm looking forward to those things again. I do feel like we're turning a corner as a society. We're getting closer to getting back to as close to normal as possible. But, I used to love saying, no, I'm not coming to something, or no, I don't want to do that, or no, I'm not going to go for a drink or whatever. And I can't envision saying no to any of those things anymore, because they've become so much more valuable. The realization that human connection is so important, I took for granted for sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Joe.
Probably honestly yesterday too. It was a really nice day out, and me and my sister were just kind of cooped up in the house, so we decided to just take a drive around. We ended up going to Blydenburg, and there's like a 6-mile trail that goes around the whole lake, so you can choose to walk that. And we were just walking, and there was a little opening right on the water, and the sun was setting, and it was just really nice out. And we were just talking and stuff, and it was just a grounding moment, I guess. Because if we were in school right now, I guess I probably wouldn't be doing that, kind of appreciating getting out of the house. But now I feel like that we're all kind of in quarantine. It's the little things of just going for a drive or going for a walk that we kind of appreciate. So probably that at Blydenburg.
Cool. Whitehorse.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one specific moment, and I apologize ahead of time for being a little sappy if I am, but while we're doing a lot from home, it's nice to be able to just wake up every day, wake up my son and be able to watch him do all these new things that he's been doing over the last, what's it been? Has it been 6 weeks already? It's just been flying by. He's made exponential growth in so many different ways. He says mama now. I tried to get him to say dada as much as I can. He said it once, but I think it was an accident. But getting to be there when that happens it's just been incredible. And you see it, and I'm glad to be able to spend this time with him.
Right.
So I'm going to say that I think the big aha moment for me was a week or so ago when my son Steven said to me, Mom, this will be the most time that we spend together the rest of our lives. And for those of you who don't know, Steven is a cadet at the Air Force Academy. And so the longest break that he had was Christmas for 3 weeks. And so he's been home since March 13th. And it just made me take pause and be like, holy cow, he's right. And he and I have been taking a couple of drives together. We took a drive down to Robert Moses last week. On the weekend, we went out to Jamesport, and just a little conversation, with my boy has been really cool, and it just makes me appreciate the quarantine that much more.
Cool. Christy.
Yeah, so mine's kind of like a little bit of a combination. Right now, spring season, I would be running from, dance competition to soccer game to soccer game to soccer tournament. And, we missed all that. And then I sat outside and just watched my 4 kids play. And I have a 3-year-old also. So the high school kids were teaching him how to play baseball, and just really working together. And I didn't say anything; I just watched, and it was really kind of beautiful. But I'm hoping that this was like a reset button for everyone. So sports are important and going out is important, but just like really prioritizing what's truly important, like your health and your family and your kids, spending time together. And I think that when we come out of this, we're all going to get back to the nitty gritty, but I hope it reminds us to not take those things for granted and kind of just change our ways a little bit.
Cool. Really good stuff. All right, now we're going off the rails. So we're going to actually do a fun back and forth between Dave and Joe, and see what we get. Now, I got 5 questions prepped. It's going to be a speed round. I'm going to say what the question is, then Dave, then Joe, and then we're going to go to the next round. So you got to think on your feet. I think I promised you that I wouldn't put you in the spot, but sometimes I move things along more quickly. All right, so you guys ready? Joe, Dave, you guys ready?
Yes.
We're good.
All right. Favorite movie? Barshay.
Oh, damn it. Shawshank Redemption.
Nice. Joe.
Major League.
Okay, good. Favorite athlete all time?
Don Mattingly.
Good choice. Bo Jackson.
Wow. Favorite hobby?
Cooking.
Fishing.
Learning about Dave Barshay here. Cooking. We got to pause here. Have you seen these? Because we have segments on cooking is a big part of what we do here. Do we do a spot with what's for dinner with Maria? Do you cook at night, Dave?
Yeah, I do.
He's quite the cook.
Yeah. What's for dinner tonight? Do you have any sense?
Tonight we're having New York strip, burnt Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower rice.
That's amazing. Good stuff. That takes us to a couple questions down the line. Vacation spot. Favorite vacation spot?
Italy.
Nice.
Is it that we've been to or that we want to go? What's the criteria?
There's no real criteria here. So whatever you want to.
Well, I mean, we were supposed to go to Hawaii over the summer, so probably Hawaii.
That's the second time he brought it up with the same
Yeah,
tone.
I know.
Hawaii. Sad.
Bittersweet, I guess.
Yeah. Broccoli or carrots? If you had to choose, Dave, broccoli or carrots?
Cooked or raw?
It's your choice.
Cooked broccoli.
Carrots.
All right. Favorite sports team?
Yankees, Rangers.
Straight Yankees. Born and raised.
Got it. And Barshay, I think you'll like this question. Favorite singular sports team year of all time?
1994 New York Rangers. Broke the 40-year hiatus of not winning the Stanley Cup. And the Yankee teams of the late 2000s were incredible as well. Late 1990s rather.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the '90s dynasty of the Yankees, but probably '96 when Jeter came up. I mean, that was turn year, good year. Probably one of my favorite sport years for the Yankees.
Good stuff. All right. Well, that was very good. Got to know you guys a little bit more. So let's do a final round. And Dave, we'll give you a little bit of leeway if there's anything you want to say to the community. And then also we'll start that be in the first round on shout outs too. If you want to start, just anything you want to directly say to the community, we'll incorporate that and then finish it with a shout out to anybody in particular. Then we'll go Joe, Joy, and Christy, and we'll finish it off that way. So Dave, take it away.
Sure. So to the community wearing my BOE hat, the number of people that have been participating and watching our meetings online is exponentially more than have ever come to the meetings in person. And I can't tell you how valuable that is to the board. The number of questions we're getting via email, the number of comments we're getting on Facebook, while not always great, are so helpful in what we do. So I would ask the community when we get back to normal to please stay involved, stay interested, and it really helps to hear from the community in general. What was the second half of your question?
So then, people take it wherever they want, but they give kind of like a closing shout out to somebody. So, hey, I want to give a shout out to, and Dave, just because in fairness to you, you can be specific about somebody. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go to the others, and we'll finish with you. That feels appropriate. But you can be specific or general. Joe Ferrari, take us from here.
I I guess, you know, to the seniors, we've said it time and time again. You know, we've had a lot taken away from us, but I mean, only real thing to do is, you know, play the hand you're dealt, make the most of it. You know, we're gonna look back and tell stories about this one time. You know, kind of a unique year. You know, we were kind of born during 9/11, and now we're graduating high school kind of during the coronavirus. But we're kind of the experts on how to make it work. But probably, honestly, shout out to the administration. If a lot of people probably, you know, might not know, but Hauppauge was like 826 on the list of like top high schools in the country, and that's like higher than like hands down a lot other schools that we surround. So I mean, you know, I think it definitely comes from, you know, the administration. That's like kind of the new administration that's been making some revamps. So yeah.
Thanks for the nod. J-Dubs.
Yeah, you know, my shout out will just be general. Everyone in Hauppauge, we miss you guys. Miss interacting with you every day. It's been tough being away, but I just hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. And if you need anything, you know how to find us. We'll be responsive. So just let us know. And I'm looking forward to seeing you really soon.
Excellent. Joy.
So here's my positive message for today. Something good comes out of even the worst situations. If you don't see the positive, create it. I want to say a special shout out to Joe and all of the students on Youth and Community Alliance. Thank you for your leadership. And I want to give a big shout out to our nurses.
Cool. Christy, go for it.
All right, so I'm going to give a shout out to Joe and all of our seniors out there. You guys keep getting shout outs. You deserve them. I also want to give a shout out to all of our 11th grade students. I know you guys, a lot of you are struggling, worried about what are you going to do for next year, SATs, ACTs. Just remember, we're all in this together, and we will figure it out. You're not alone, so keep reaching out. We miss you.
Good stuff. And then Mr. Barshay, take us home.
Yes. A big shout out to you, Mr. Cook, and the entire high school administration for just some great work and recognition that we're finally getting. Good job. Kudos to you. To the seniors, those great numbers would not be possible if we didn't have such a strong cohort, which we obviously do. And, you know, you guys are getting a crappy deal as far as, you know, experiencing your senior year, but college is great. You're going to love it. And specifically to my nephew, Joey, I seen this kid, you know, grow up from a pudgy little guy in my backyard doing, you know, belly flops into my pool to this strong man going off to college. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I'm going to miss being able to give him a hug at commencement and embarrassing him in front of all his friends. But I'm just so proud of him, and I love him, and I love you, Joey.
Oh, that was beautiful. Joe, come on.
Appreciate it.
A virtual hug or something, you know?
That was pretty nice. Made my day. I like that.
You got it.
That was good stuff. The beginnings of this with you, Dave, started with a compliment from your nephew to you, and it's finishing with an air hug from you to him. That's a beautiful symmetry, everybody. That's some good stuff. Hey, Dave, Joe, Joy, Christy, thanks a lot. This was a lot of fun. Really appreciate it. We'll try to get this up pretty quickly. But Hauppauge, keep it going. And the last thing I'll say is, you know, a lot of kudos coming our way for the rankings and stuff. And like the bottom line is, there's years and years and years of a really intense planning and commitment to driving up expectations for Hauppauge students, and then also simultaneously layering in that support. I've been talking about this since we get there. That's what schools need to do, have extraordinarily high expectations for what the students in their school can accomplish, and then do the work of every single day layering in those supports. So I think we're trying really hard. And, you know, Dave, you can hear it and you'll hear it again. Like, we're not done yet. We're not anywhere near done. So we're having some fun. We're excited about it, and sure, there'll be some things in the way here as we go related to COVID, but we're on fire, and we're going to keep it that way. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out, Hauppauge. Good stuff.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.